What's up, guys? Steven Brown, or wow, Power Maniac 720 here, and I have for you my top 8 match, game 1 against Aaron Zheng. So we just played in round 5, and then immediately following, I found out that we play in top cut, which kind of sucks because I pretty much revealed all my tricks to him. Well, I mean, I revealed my big trick. I guess 2 big tricks. One is that my Malamar is a beast, and I also revealed that Charizard is X. That's the one sucky part about small tournaments is if you play someone in Swiss, you'll most likely play them excuse me, in top cut. So without further ado, here is our match. So I know, for those of you who've seen my how to beast best of 3 videos, this kind of goes against everything I say. I usually say if you have 2 megas or a tricky mega to not lead it or bring it at all game 1, but he knows I have X, so I don't have anything to hide, so I might as well go with it. So I lead Ludicolo and Charizard, something I don't do very often, and I feel like I should do more often. Because he didn't have a fake out user or a quick guard user, I knew I was able to take full advantage of the fact that I can fake out one Pokemon and Dragon Dance with Charizard, which is what I end up doing. So I end up obviously going for the fake out on Garchomp because unless he's running Ancient Power or Dragon Pulse, that Charizard can't really touch me. I mean, even Overheat, I 4-time resist it, so in the sun it still does nothing. So I end up fake outing the is that a word? End up fake outing the Garchomp. Charizard goes for the Heat Wave. Does just under half to Ludicolo and like nothing to Charizard, and I go for the Dragon Dance. So at this point, I have the option of Dragon Claw on either Pokemon and picking up the KO. I thought that Dragon Clawing Garchomp was obvious, so I go for the Dragon Claw on Charizard. I should have just gone for the Dragon Claw on Garchomp anyway because even if he protects, like the Charizard can't hurt me. I mean, he doesn't have any moves to hurt my Charizard, which really was just a bad move on my part. Great move on his part. Risky move on his part. And of course, my Ludicolo picks up the Ice Beam KO on Garchomp. But yeah, I didn't think that through all the way. Mega Charizard Y literally cannot touch Mega Charizard X unless it's running Dragon Pulse. So he sends out his Tyranitar, which I know from last match is Scarfed. The nice part is now that the sand is up, I can Scald his Charizard without worrying about Scald being weakened by the sun, which is nice. Makes Charizard a lot less formidable. So he goes for the Dark Pulse. He's trying to get rid of my Meowstic right off the bat. Look, it takes me down to about 25%. I reheal back to 50 with Citrus Berry. He goes for the Overheat, trying to pick up the KO on my Ludicolo, but luckily I am calm and I have Assault Vest, so I survived that. And now he's at -2 special attack, which is good. So I go for the Scald on Charizard. Brings it down to about 40% left. At this point in the match, I'm feeling really good about my position because his Tyranitar is locked in a Dark Pulse and it is paralyzed. So I went for the Psyshock on Charizard's spot, hoping that I could pick up the KO with it. He ends up setting in Rotom though, probably expecting me to Scald it again. So I Psyshock the Rotom and I go for the Giga Drain on to Tyranitar because I need to start healing back some HP so that the sand doesn't KO me. It brings me back up to 36. So he goes for the Dark Pulse, which of course will KO the Meowstic at this point. So I'm down to just 2 Pokemon. I have Ludicolo and I have Garchomp, and he has Rotom Wash, Tyranitar, which is paralyzed, and Charizard, which has like 40% health left. So I'm feeling really good about the matchup right now. I ended up going for the Rock Slide because I figured Charizard might come in, and also I didn't really have anything else to do. I didn't want to Dragon Claw and like risk, like I knew I couldn't KO the Rotom, and so I was hoping I could just flinch it so I don't get Will-O-Wisp, because I mean I assumed his Rotom has Will-O-Wisp because that's what like all Rotoms run. But also this reveals his Rotom Citrus Berry, which is good to know. And then he goes for the Thunderbolt on my Ludicolo. I ended up Giga Draining Rotom Wash, so I was really hoping like real bad for the paralysis hacks, but didn't happen. So now Tyranitar comes in. So at this point in the match, I'm feeling pretty good about my spot. I assume he has Ice Beam. So I protect A to Scout for Ice Beam, and B because I want as much sand damage on that Rotom as possible, because Rotom, of course, is a very bulky Pokemon, and even Life Orb, Garchomp, Dragon Claw isn't, gonna KO it it might KO it, I don't know, but so I go for the Earthquake to get rid of the Tyranitar so I don't get Ice Beam to death, and I pick up the KO. So right now it comes down to a one-on-one. His Rotom here goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunately, it misses. Fortunately for me, it misses, but unfortunately for him, it misses, which really sucks because that would put the match in a really good spot for him because he could have stalled me out. So I protect again because I just need as much Sandstorm damage as possible. He goes for the Hydro Pump. I don't know how much Hydro Pump would do to my Garchomp, but so he's at just over half, so I go for the Dragon Claw. And I end up picking up the KO on the Rotom. So I end up taking game 1 from Aaron Cybertron Zheng in our best of 3 set. So stay tuned for game 2.